Hi friends. So it's been a little while since I've been out in my forging shed to make any videos for my Pops DIY channel. Today's the day. So recently I was at my company Christmas party, and one of the gifts I received was basically an arrowhead knife, an Obsidian arrowhead, and put into an antler for the handle. And I've been wanting one of these, really liked it, but this particular one I wasn't happy with the antler handle. So then fast forward a few days, and we were in our local town doing a little event, and I came across some more obsidian arrowheads. So I bought some. I came home, figured out how to make my own. Once I figured out how to make my own, I disassembled the one that I had received as a Christmas gift at my party, and I made it more the way I want it. So the antler on it was real short, kind of gangly. So I wanted something that I could hold on to and just be a little happier with. So this is that arrowhead reused into one of my antlers, and I have now made a couple of them and thought, well, you know what, it's time to share a video. So that's what we're doing today. So here are some of those arrowheads that I picked up from a local source here in my nearby town. Some other examples of what I've made. And kind of an oversized one, but I just like that I can hold on to it. I like that. So got that. Here's my antler material. And as you can see, I've already hacked some up for some of these other knives. So a lot of times what I do is I take the arrowhead and I just start comparing it to the base of what I think could make a handle, and just see if things are gonna fit. How does it feel in the hand? And so that's how I determine what I'm going to use to a particular arrowhead. Some are just the way they're knapped. Some are a little wider, thinner, thicker. So I just play with the handle material and the arrowhead and find the combination I like. So I'm going to pick one of these, pick a piece of antler, and show you how I put these together. I think I found the combination that I like, kind of liking this one here and this arrowhead here. I just kind of look at it, how is it going to fit in the hand, try and find the positioning, and I just start playing with how is this going to fit to that, and then I just figure out where I'm going to cut this, and then the rest will be up to the angle grinders to do some shaping. So let's get this cut. Okay, so now I've got a piece cut. So now I just start playing with how do I want to get that positioned in my hand. Right, so I'm gonna get things lined up here a little bit. And because I'm using a metal vise, I don't have a wood vise. If this was wood, I probably wouldn't need the rag. But since I don't, I like to wrap it in a rag. I'm trying to figure out, so I'm gonna put a slit in here for the arrowhead to fit into. So just got to get it to stay in the vise while I do that. So I think that'll work. Okay, so I've got this in here where I want it. So what I'm using is an angle grinder with just a standard grinding disc, about a 1/4 inch thick, thereabouts. It's already been used on metal, so it's got a little more of a cupped shape instead of being like squared off. And I like that little rounded cupped shape for this to fit down into. And my thought is, if I was using like a cutting disc or a sawzall or anything else, I'm going to cut down and it's going to be blunt. And I don't want like a fracture in that bluntness, like where maybe if some stress was put on it, it might crack. To me, this being a little bit cupped, I'm thinking that that evens out any stresses and won't just crack on me. So this is going to put up a bunch of dust. I don't know if you guys have cut much antler, but it stinks. And so we're just going to go for it. And I'll probably have to adjust my angle a little bit once I get my notch started, just to try and stay down the center and try and keep it as even as I can. Okay, so hopefully you can see that's got a pretty good notch in it. So now just start looking. Oh, I actually like how that came out. So I'm going to shape this a little bit. You can see I got, because of the way it was cut, but I want it to where I've got top and bottom of that groove exposed, where the sinew is going to go through to hold the knife besides the glue. So I actually am liking that. So I'm going to shape this up a little bit and we'll continue. And for that, I'm just going to use a sanding disc. Okay, I'm gonna turn this a little bit, guys. I'm just not liking that angle. So you can see it's a little thick where it'll end at the blade. So I'm going to thin that out a little bit and just do a little more shaping. Oh, it's trying to turn on me in the vise. Okay, so I've got one side shaped, so now to do the other side. Alright guys, so that's the rough idea right there. Have good contact all the way through for the glue, and I'm just going to use an epoxy, a 2-ton clear epoxy, and that'll give me all the bonding I need down inside that saddle. And then the sinew will just give it the look and give it some strength, just so that either side of this aren't trying to move. So I think we've got that where we want it. So now we'll move inside where it's warmer and I can do some gluing, because out here it is too cold for the glue. Alright friends, so I have moved inside to the studio where it's warmer, and I'm going to go ahead and get the Obsidian knife point here glued with epoxy into the handle. So let's go ahead and mix up some epoxy. Sure, people have seen that before, but I'm just going to go ahead and show it. Okay, got that mixed up real good. And this stuff, it takes a while to set up. Okay, so I just want to get an idea. So for me, just to get an idea of how far I want the glue to come up, I'm just using my fingers as the guide. So I like to put a little bit on each side. Don't think it's really necessary, but that's what I like to do. So I'm just smearing some on the inside of the antler. Okay, so inside the antler in the pocket. Now on the obsidian blade. And I'm just going to go pretty much right up the center, just in between the two notches that are there for the sinew. Got one. Do the other. And now I know that when I push this inside here, I should have good contact with the glue on both surfaces. And that's all I'm looking for. So put them together. Okay. This one's a little soft. It's not quite a tight squeeze that I would like. So, oh, should have grabbed some paper towel first. So I'm just going to pull off any excess glue. Yeah, normally my notch is just a little tighter, so this one wants to slide a little bit. So I'm going to stick it in my holder here, which is just a box that did a slit, little hole here. I just want to get things lined up a little bit so that when I do add the sinew, I'm not cutting it with the pressure when I tension it. And because the sides aren't super even, and it's not sitting quite level as I'd like, so I'm going to use a little toothpick on this back side to wedge it just a little bit to keep it where I want it, and then I'll cut that off. It'll stay in the glue. Okay, I think I like that. So I'll just cut that toothpick off, and when I wrap it with the sinew, you won't even see it. And that's all glued in. And then this way, gravity is letting the glue come down. If any glue comes down the side of the antler, usually with a sharp knife I can shave that off. Okay, so I like that. Now where I ground down the antler, antlers are hardest on the outside shell. As you get inside, it's a little more spongy. It's still hard, but it's a little more spongy. So I am going to smear just a little bit where I ground it. Just to keep things as strong as I can. Just want a good strong knife. Not that it would ever really be used as a knife. It is a little bit more on the decorative side, but to me they make a good like letter opener and a little like decorative kind of piece on a desk or mantle. So just want things, I just want to know that what I made is strong and doesn't have any little weaknesses, little issues. If someone were to use it, I want it to hold up. So that's just me. Okay, so I think I like it. And like they say, probably should stop messing with it. The more you mess with it, the more that can go wrong. So, all right. I like the alignment. I like how it's tilted. It's got good contact with the epoxy. So, there you are. So I'll wait for that to dry and harden, and then next I'll show wrapping with the sinew. It's all glued, dried, hard. You can see the toothpick is sticking out with a little bit of glue. So I'm gonna clean that up. But other than that, we've got an Obsidian deer handle knife. So okay, getting that cleaned up. I'm gonna get a few other things ready and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got that all cleaned up. I did touch it with a file just a little bit just to get it smooth. So we've got that ready. Now I'm using an imitation sinew. I've got this in a few different colors. I have a dark green, a light green, and a black. I'm going to go with the dark green on this one. Now what I like to do, so you're going to do like a hidden knot on this wrap. So I don't want the hidden knot to be under my thumb when I'm holding the knife. So I do that on the bottom. All I do is leave a tail. That's what I need to pull with. I'm doing a loop. So I have the loop. I want to start, ½ inch, 3/4 of an inch down from the end of the arrowhead. So I just put my thumb about where I want it, and then I just start a wrap going over the loop that I'm going to pull on, and then I just do a real snug wrap right there. And when I'm probably just a little bit more than halfway up, back up to the end of the arrowhead. Sorry guys, my voice is a little foggy. I think I'm coming down with something, so I do apologize for that. But get some nice tight wraps. So I'm that far. Now I'm going to pull my loop back. Finish wrapping. Once I get to the bottom of the arrowhead, now I want to put like an X pattern through the arrowhead. Sometimes it'll show a full X, sometimes it overlaps a little bit and you don't quite see an X, but that's what kind of what I'm looking for, is that X. So come up. Now when I go in through the arrowhead, I just want to get it placed in there and then snug it. I don't want to pull hard to get it down into that socket because I don't want it to cut this sinew. So come across, go in through the other hole, come across. Okay, now I can make my start of an X on this side. Come over here to the bottom of the next one. Come back up for that X. Come through. Come down below over here. So I've got my X, but I want a little bit more wrap on the front. So I'm going to come back up over one of my X's. And now I'm just going to do a straight across, just real snug wrap. Okay, so I've done that. Now I need to come back down over my X. And now that I've done that, sorry, I'm going to wrap probably twice below the arrowhead here. Okay, so that's what we've got. Now I'm going to cut here. Okay, so we've got this little tail here that needs to now go through our loop. So put that through and just hold it to the other side. Now this, our beginning, I just start to pull. Try and keep everything snug. And this is a real waxy, like fake sinew. So as it starts to pull under the wrap, so I've just started to get underneath that wrap. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to cut this piece, and you want just a little, excuse me, you want just a little bit of a tail so that when you pull it in underneath, that's what's keeping your knot from slipping. So now I've got that all pulled underneath. It has that little tail that's being held by the other wraps so that it won't come loose. Now this one that I pulled on, oh, put my knife away. I just use my razor blade and cut right beside the wrap. You can barely see that it leaves just a little smidge there, and now I just move my wrap around a little bit. So, and just smooth everything out. So there we are. We have one finished Obsidian deer handle knife. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit that thumbs up if you would. And you guys have a great day.